Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's show, we'll update you on a busy weekend here in Ferris State Athletics as we check in with Bulldog football along with golf and tennis. We'll start first, though, with Bulldog football, and we're joined by assistant coach Brian Rock. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
I know it was a long trip, an exciting game, and the Bulldogs come away with a 62-28 win at Central Washington. Maybe just talk about that trip and what it was like going out to Washington.
All accurate statements. It was a long trip, but I thought our players and everybody involved, support staff, support personnel, handled everything really well. And when we came out on the field on Saturday evening, our time, I thought the guys were ready to go and did a really nice job and put together a win.
Obviously a game that had a lot of national significance, national showcase game of the week, and maybe talk about the performance of the guys going through that contest.
Well, yeah, it's anytime you get a chance to play on national television and promote your program and those kinds of things, I think it's a big lick. But I think our guys were excited about that. But the one thing that I've noticed during my time here is that these guys, once warm-ups is over, they're pretty much ready to go. But I thought it was a great team effort. I thought there were obviously points on offense. Anytime you score 62 points, it's a good deal. But there was, for the first 3 quarters of the game was definitely in the balance, and I think everybody played together very well. Offense, defense, special teams, all those kinds of things. And I just noticed along the sidelines, our guys were very focused and very tuned in for the adjustments that needed to be made, and executed those things and the changes that the coaching staff wanted to make. And I thought it was outstanding.
So go to some of the highlights of the game. You had J. Rue Campbell back as the starting quarterback in this contest after Travis Russell led you to a win in week 1. We saw some of Evan Cummins. What's it like having that luxury of having 3 quarterbacks?
Well, obviously you've got the opportunity. They're all 3 different guys, so it makes it very difficult for a defense to plan for any one of them. J. Rue is an electric, talent who can run and pass and do all those kinds of things, and I think we're a pretty competitive animal. When he's in the game, Travis can really do a great job of operating our offense and doesn't make any mistakes and knows exactly what's going on. And obviously Evan is a threat anytime the ball's in his hands. He's still developing as a young quarterback, but he's 200 and some pounds, and I know I don't want to tackle him.
Obviously, J. Rue was kind of the guy that got you going here in this first half. Evan Cummins, though, was the guy that kind of finished off these drives with 3 touchdowns here in the game.
Yeah, I think, over the course of a, how many ever game season, quarterback hits can accumulate. And even though it may be, get through one game one time, one game another time and everything, but the more times that you can take hits off of those guys, the better off you're going to be. And that's kind of Evan's role right now. When we bring him into the game, he's a threat as a runner, as a passer, and those kinds of things, and has the ability to be a little bit more of a physical presence. So I think, having the ability to use all 3 guys in certain situations, makes us much more difficult to defend.
Build a 27-14 halftime lead. Maybe what was the thought process going into halftime, having the 2-score lead and knowing you're going to get the ball back in the 3rd quarter?
Well, I think we all felt that there were some plays that we could have made in the first half that would have made life a little bit easier for us going into halftime. But they're a good football team. Don't take anything away from Central Washington. They're a very good football team. They'd taken Idaho virtually down to the wire, the previous week, and they're a team that's of national stature as well. And so we knew it was going to be a dogfight going in, and we wanted to come out in the second half and establish ourselves and see if we could put a little bit more distance between us.
You did do that, build a 34-14 lead, but then they obviously came back, had a nice comeback, and pulled within a score there at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, they did do that. I mean, they made some big plays, and they made some good plays, and you could feel it on the sidelines. They had started to develop a little bit of momentum, going into the end of the 3rd quarter, and then we hit the big, touchdown right after that to give us a 1 separation, and then 1 touchdown separation, and then it was kind of like, okay, the momentum's back in our hands, and then we were able to make some of those big plays that we wanted to put a little bit more distance between us.
28 points in the 4th quarter, 627 yards of total offense. Obviously, the defense had a strong performance as well and really held them in check on some big 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, I thought our defense played very well. they're not terribly unlike us offensively, that they have the capability to make big plays and create momentum swings and like I said, I think it's when your football team is playing together, offense, defense, and kicking game, you got a chance to be successful in virtually any contest. And I think everybody's playing together right now, and that's really a great thing.
This week, obviously a short turnaround time with the long trip home as you get ready for Ashland to open GLIAC play, and another very good opponent coming in here this week.
Yeah, Ashland's really an excellent football team. They're well coached. They play really hard. They've got tradition. They've got good players. They've got a good scheme. Definitely be a huge challenge. Another game on the road after a long game on the road. But I think our guys will put Central Washington in the rearview mirror and start to look forward to playing at Ashland. Ashland's been a team that's always up towards the top of the conference, and Coach Owens does an excellent job. And it'll be another one that's we're like any game, you got to play well to win.
What's it going to take to go down to Ashland, Ohio, and come away with a victory? Some keys here maybe for the Bulldogs.
Well, one of the things that I thought offensively that we did very well on Saturday was I thought we brought a physical presence, both offensively and defensively, and we've got some special athletes who can do some things out in space, and defensively we've got some guys that can run and play man coverage and do all those kinds of things. But football's still a physical game, and I thought we brought the physical aspect of it on Saturday, and I think that's what it's going to take this week against Ashland, who's traditionally a very physical football team. They're going to play downhill, and they're going to be right in your face, both offensively and defensively, and we have to either match or exceed, their physicality. And so if I had to put my finger on one thing, we have to execute, on offense and defense. We have to make plays when they present themselves, but we have to be physical, play in and play out.
What's it been like for you, obviously coming in here this past spring and having a chance to go through spring ball with these guys, working for Coach Anise? Maybe what's that been like for you, a veteran coach?
I'm having a blast. I mean, this has been it's been exciting. I love our players. I love our staff. I think anytime that you can be in a situation where week in and week out you're going to have an opportunity to win, and you've got guys that are passionate about the game and competitive, and winning is important to them. I mean, that's what we're all looking for in the coaching profession, but also the ability to develop relationships with young people and help them develop and get to where they want to go. So this has been nothing but positive for me. I'm having a blast.
Well, Coach, congratulations. Bulldogs off to a 2-0 start, and best of luck this Saturday night as you take on the Ashland Eagles.
Appreciate it. We'll get after them.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.